Hi everyone. So we have literally just finished our lesson on Monday, and I've just realised that I thought I was going to see you in class on Thursday, but I won't, because Thursday's lesson, even though you're in school, our geography lesson is period 5, and so actually you'll be at home for that, and you'll be offline because people might still be travelling home. So I'm going to do this screencast and just talk you through what you should be doing in Thursday's lesson, and you can just pause it at various points. So first thing I would remind you on Thursday is that you need to finish the work on the sense of place. And first thing to do is make sure that you've added your little cultural identity figure to the Jamboard. So at the end of the lesson, I can see that we've got some of them on here, but we've still got some space for more people to add. So please go through and make sure that you have added your little cultural identity person onto the Jamboard. That's the first thing. The second thing is to open up the Google Doc you were using, which I think is here, and just make sure that you have done tasks 1, 2, and 3. So you've got your definition of culture, you've pasted in the diagram from the Google slide, and you've got your 6 photos that represent what Hong Kong means to you. So that's the second thing that you need to do. Now, unfortunately, we're not going to be able to do this as a group discussion now, unless you want to create your own little groups on Thursday. But the first thing that you need to do is think about these themes for the competition. So there are 4 of them: nature, people and culture, urban landscape, and the critical eye, which is kind of any issues in Hong Kong. And go through and list out as many ideas as you can about the sorts of things you might be able to research for this competition. So with the other group earlier, I think they came up with things like obviously religion and religious temples and things like that for culture and people. The food was another big one, you know, dim sum restaurants that are family favourites. Perhaps looking at you know, cultural icons like the Big Buddha and why it exists there and how representative it actually is. So kind of looking at those ideas. The urbanscape, we had things like Victoria Harbour, but also talking about, you know, smaller scale important buildings, so maybe old historical buildings that are kind of tucked away. You might want to focus on those. Someone was talking about the kind of signage in Kowloon, you know, the shop signage that sticks out from the buildings, that really famous iconic image that gets lit up at night, and maybe representing that somehow. Nature, we talked about, you know, it being a very coastal environment. There's lots of bays and headlands that people could look at. Someone mentioned the super volcano that we'd looked at in year 8. Species and individual species. I talked about the wild boar, and the fact that I was driving along yesterday near where I live, and there's a little wild boar trotting along the road. And I think that contrast of nature and urban is very real here. You know, the boundaries are very blurred, and that's something that makes it quite unique to Hong Kong. And then issues, lots of environmental issues people were coming up with: the river dolphins, the sort of ocean pollution issues, kind of just general littering along the beaches and the coastlines here, the Lama power station and general refuge waste disposal issues here. So lots of things for you to think about. I guess I'm trying to preempt the discussion that you would have had, but see what you can come up with for those bits in task 4, and what you might like to research a little bit more closely. And then the last thing to do, so that's finishing off really the sense of place lesson. You are going to have to do some fairly detailed research on this. So what I would like you to do is go to the conducting research page and just watch this video on Google search tricks, because actually being able to do a refined search is a really important skill. We can all go on Google and type in, Hong Kong famous foods, and it'll pull up various things. But actually, there are ways of honing it down much more. And these tricks will help you not just for this assignment, but for research assignments in subjects across the whole school. So it's about 6-7 minute video. I want you to watch it through. You might need to watch it twice, and then just have a little play around with some of those tricks, and see, which ones work, which ones don't, which ones you think are good and useful. Okay. And then we will pick up on the bibliography and everything when we're back together in class next time. And we'll actually start you researching on whatever your chosen theme is going to be for the competition. But for next lesson, I just need you to have basically completed the sense of place work on here and put your photo onto the your image onto the Jamboard, and then go on to the conducting research lesson and watch through this research and recording information, and that'll be enough. That'll get us up to where we need to be for the following week. I think that's it. Thank you.